Now for WH questions. There's two tricks that you want to remember about WH questions. Now these WH words can also be used in statements. For example, if I say, that is where I live. That's a statement. So I point to my house. I say, that is where I live. That is the place where I live. That's going to work a little bit differently. That's inside a normal sentence. Don't worry too much about that right now. But in a WH question, okay, if the WH is the question, the WH word will be stressed. You can think of it sort of as a replacement for the noun or the verb, right? So what do you want? I want a cat. So cat is a noun, it's stressed, sort of replaces that content in a way. That's one way to think about it. But anyway, the WH word, which includes how is part of the group, is usually stressed in most cases. We'll see a case here where it's not. Just like a simple statement, we are going to go down at the end. It's exactly the same intonation over here. Here we have the question tone, here we don't. If you use the question tone with a WH question, it sounds like you're questioning the question, right? So if I say, what do you want? And you say, what do I want? What do I want? Sounds like, how could you ask? You should know what I want. Okay, so a little bit different there. But we want to go down at the end, so pay attention to that. What do you want? What do you want? Okay, notice we have some weird things going on. Woulda instead of what to do. Don't worry about that right now. Babbling. What do you want? Okay, so we get stress and stress. But then of course we have to drop at the very end. Where does she live? Where does she live? Okay, stress, stress, not stress. Now this case is a little bit different. The verb to be is usually not stressed. It's just an equal sign. Or it's used as a helping verb in the ing, I am walking, right? That structure. Sometimes though, it's actually the main focus. For example, this sentence is about someone's state of being. How are you? How are you, right? Now it is possible to say, how are you? How are you? That sounds more like we're emphasizing you. Like I say, oh, hey, how are you? And you say, oh, I'm good. How are you? Right? How are you? You're sort of throwing it back to me. But it's very common without any previous context to stress that are, in which case this how is actually not really going to be stressed. How are you? So this one, again, we drop at the end. This pattern is a little bit different. It doesn't have to just be with how. We want to try to train your ears, not rely on rules all the time. So this other pattern where the WH word is stressed and then to be is not stressed, that's much more common. So we won't worry too much about that right now, but just be aware of that. So we'll go ahead and say this with the stress on are, right? How are you? How are you? Okay. Da-dun-dun. Da-dun-dun. How do you spell that? How do you spell that? Okay, notice we have stress here on how. How do you spell that? How do you spell that? How do you spell that? Okay. Okay. When will you do it? When will you do it? By the way, you don't have to say, when you're babbling, you don't have to just go, right? That's one way to do it. You can sort of get a little bit of the basic sounds like, you're just not trying to say when, like with perfect sound. So you can add a little bit of the sounds there, that's fine. Or again, if you just want to hum. It's a little bit harder because your lips are closed, but either way, right? So here, stress, when will you do it? When will you do it? Okay. Who likes dogs? Who likes dogs? This here. Da, da, da. All three stressed. Dogs is going to be the highest. Again, don't worry too much about that right now, but who likes dogs? Who likes dogs? Okay. Right here. Big, big, big. If this, just for contrast, if we were to say it, right? Who likes it? Who likes it? Because it is not stressed. But if we say dogs, who likes dogs? Okay. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So we can see that these kind of really collapse into each other. Okay, so we get from why are you do? It almost is kind of like one sound. It's because in real life, right? Why are you? This can actually reduce to which again, we'll talk more about reductions later. This can reduce to ya. And so it'd actually be like, why ya? Why ya? Why you doing? Why you doing? Yeah, see, this is why it's kind of hard to hear, to understand spoken English. Again, don't worry too much about that, but this is one reason why the babbling or the humming is very useful, because you can focus on the intonation without worrying about what the actual words are. And then you'll sort of get used to that when you're listening to real English. What's that? What's that? In fact, as long as the context is clear, let's say my mouth is full, like I'm eating, right? And I point to something and I say, there's a good chance that a native speaker would understand that I'm trying to say, what's that? There's a very good chance. Again, that's partially because of intonation, because of rhythm. Context is important there. Now here, just like with how are you, it's possible to say, what is that? And stress is. In which case you sound like really surprised. So that's a variation depending on the context. We'll learn more about that later, but what is that? What is that? It says, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, What is that? Don't let that be confusing. Again, don't worry about all the details. You don't have to memorize this right now. It's not a big deal. This is just to sort of get you used to this, get you used to the patterns and the flow. It's very light, very gentle, okay? I recommend maybe going through this video one more time for review. Not right now, but maybe, tomorrow or in a couple days. This is really good stuff to kind of get that basic flow and intonation of English into your head, into your bones. Questions, comments, anything here that you didn't understand or whatever, let me know. Subscribe, hit the bell as always, so you'll never miss another video in this course or from English Hacks in general. And I will see you guys in the next one.